Okay. Whoa, I'm loud today. What the hell? Hi, friends. I'm gonna futz with the audio a little bit. If I can find some headphones around, maybe I'll have to get up and do that. I'm gonna futz with the audio a little bit because yesterday I listened to the stream and it was really, really quiet. So I was trying to fix that yesterday afternoon. If you're here and you want to chat with me, you go ahead and type in the chat box and say hi. I'm using a different streaming setup today than yesterday, so it should look a little nicer, and I should be able to instantly see you on chat. It should be a lot easier. So bear with me for a minute while I futz around with audio properties and filters and things, because I think that all of my settings, all of my settings yesterday were completely changed. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to mute my microphone for just a second and get some headphones so that I can futz with the audio real quick. I get to use my be right back picture. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see. Hi, Fred. You're like the stalwart, man. You're here from you're OG stream friend. Okay, so you're not going to see me actually futzing with any of this because on OBS I've changed it so that you don't see anything but my Firefox desktop right now, or Firefox window, because I hate it when streamers have OBS up too. Oh, I can hear myself in double. Where am I streaming from? You're not hearing this, probably. Well, let's see if you are, actually. No, you're not, because you're not hearing the capture. Okay. I'm hearing myself play back and repeat a couple of minutes later. So I've got YouTube up somewhere. Okay, there it is. Found it. Okay. So while I do this, let's see here, audio monitoring. Monitor and output, guys, for running. And thanks, Fred. I appreciate it. I don't know why I can't hear myself. This is the weirdest thing. Make sure the headphones are actually plugged in. They are. This sucks. Because you can probably hear my washing machine going in the background, which is super professional. Let me tell you. My aux volume is 70%. I want to monitor it. Now you should be able to hear me. I think you should. Please confirm. It's human error, for sure. I can teach you how to stream from now on while I'm like failing live. This is awesome. Let me turn the gate back on. Because you should be able to hear me now. You should be able to hear now. User error. Yay, okay, cool. So there's a setting in OBS where I can monitor myself. I'm hearing myself in double, which is super horrible. And one of the settings is monitor and output, which is the one that makes it work, or monitor only mute output, and I didn't realize that I clicked that. So YouTube was getting no audio, but I could hear myself. So I guess if I wanted to like hear myself but be private at the same time, that would work. I don't know why you would do that. So I'm going to tweak the settings of the noise gate again, because I just set it and then I deleted it, and now I'm going to reset it. So this way you won't hear my laundry. Okay. 6, let's see. The sibilances on 6 were the ones that were getting cut off yesterday. So if I say 6, you can hear me. 6. Okay, that sounds good enough. It's not sexy amazing, but I might have a fan on in the background or something like that eventually too. So okay, I'm gonna monitor off. And now I can't hear myself, which is fine, but then I'm going to take the headphones off too, because I really don't want to hear myself. Come on. Okay. Super high professional, y'all. I've been doing this for over a decade, and I'm monitoring with Apple headphones, and now I don't even have headphones in, because, you know, oh look, now I'm out of focus. Autofocus camera. Autofocus. Oh, jeez. This is why I'm like doing test streams and playing around. Okay, good. We're there. Man. So the way you're watching me actually is I have a Canon Rebel SL1. Yes, Canon Rebel SL1 DSLR. I wanted it nicer than a webcam. So I've got some software that you can stream via a DSLR. And that's how you're watching. I've got a Rode SmartLav that's connected to my shirt, which, let's see, I'm looking at myself. You can see it right there. It's just out of camera shot. Normally, I would be super professional and run this through my shirt, but today I don't care. Don't even care. And look, I've somehow magically, I didn't do this intentionally, believe it or not. I've magically put this on my collar in such a way that you're not, it's like just out of camera view. Okay, cool. So, Fred, you're here. I don't know if anybody else is here. Some people watched the stream at the end of the day yesterday, which was cool. Thank you. Today I'm going to write a post on a layman's explanation of an audio engine. I can't save or anything. I'm like, the way that I've maneuvered Windows is I've got Windows on top of Windows now and pinned in place, so I can't do certain things. I have things full screen. So I'm just figuring out the lay of the land and how to do this again. Okay, today's post, today's stream is all going to be me writing this post. I don't know that I'm going to talk so much because I got to write. I'm going to try. I don't know. See what happens. But I figured it would be cool for people to see the process I go about writing things. I know some people know me as an author. I don't. That's weird for me to say. I'm not used to being like, oh, I'm a published author, but technically I am. It's kind of cool that we live in the day and age of the internet where you can go publish a book all by yourself. So yeah, probably not going to be me talking and entertaining all the time, but yeah, I have the feeling like I want to talk. That's the problem. I want to talk through this. but I'm not going to be able to do that all the time while I write. But this post is I'm planning on having this post up tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, I think I'm going to be busy, and then I'm going to write again on Tuesday for Wednesday's post. So I'll probably stream again on Wednesday. Yeah, so where I'm going to try to awkwardly pretend that you're not here, that nobody's watching and listening, and I'm just going to go about writing posts now. Cool. Again, I've got to like get out of my own head. This is like writing all over. When you first start writing, you're like, oh man, what words do I put down? And now I've gotten to the point where I can put words down, but I've got this mental image again of people just staring over my shoulder. It's just super weird. Okay. My microphone didn't pick that up. Okay. My laundry was going crazy, and I was like, I just want to make sure that my microphone's not picking that up. I gotta be like kind of professional, even though I'm telling you I'm doing laundry and I'm at my home. Whatever. I'm super pro, y'all. This is gonna like screw me streaming is gonna totally screw my credibility for people who think that I'm like this really I have everything together, because it's totally a lie. I appreciate that, Fred. You can just listen to me typing. It'll be great. Ooh, bet you heard that through the microphone. What are you working on in Pro Tools today, Fred? So when I write, generally the way that I flow is I write a little introduction and then I get into topic headings. So that's what I'm doing right now. That's awesome. Are you working on a game, or are you what are the ambiences for? Oh, and by the way, I meant to tell you um, that I believe we share kinship, because well, not direct kinship or anything, but as far as I know, some of my people are from Denmark. I mean, I'm totally American with a couple of generations, but as far as I understand it, on my father's side. Some of us were from Denmark. Kind of cool. Always wanted to go and visit. Maybe I will get the opportunity to sometime. Good genes. Agreed. Cool. I was actually working in Unity earlier this morning on some stuff. Oh, don't worry about it being flat. Unless you've ever traveled to the middle of North Carolina. That's where I'm originally from, and the middle of that state is flat nothing. It's not like super farmland or something like the middle of America is, but it's nothing like. There's nothing that's a destination, I would say. Hi, Guano Party. We have 2 viewers today and talkers. This is awesome. Your trash. We'll see. Then I'd be right at home, Fred. So this is funny. What I'm trying to say is, what I'm typing here is, for the vast majority of you, I bet you would shrug your shoulders and quickly like try to Google an explanation. But when I type, I like to try and type. I'd like to try and write in a way that does not reflect a time period. I would like for these things to not be constricted. And Lord knows, maybe one day Google isn't going to be like the big web search engine. And I know like Google is lexicon for search now. It is the word for, people don't say search, which is actually what I'm going to do here now that I thought about it. But I don't want to use slang. If you were to buy my book and read through it, which Fred, I'm pretty sure that's what you said you did yesterday. Then I try, like I say web search a lot in the book, and I remember writing that because I don't want to use the term Google. So I sit, and when Google hits my head, I'm like, what's the word that I want to use to replace Google? And it's just search. Quickly search. Ah. Sweet. Thanks, Guano Party. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm viewing this as a stream, is to try to be co-working a little bit. Like, I think it would be cool to have people just pull this up in the background and, I don't know, chat away or whatever, but, you know, hang out, work together. If you got questions, feel free to ask. You should put a link to your website in the chat box so that I can look at it and check it out. I even get it up on the stream. You're gonna be like, no, don't do that. I'm working on my website. It's not ready yet. Don't worry, mine's not either. You should put the URL even if it's not up, because YouTube and chat boxes and comments are timeless, so people can go and check it out, and then I'll know to look at it. Nice. That's how everyone is. I've been meaning to put a website up forever. Sweet. If I pull it up, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna embarrass you right on the stream. Aw, we use the same hosting company. That was totally worth it just for that. We're like, between Denmark and hosting companies, we're all BFFs here, y'all. That's how you know I'm from North Carolina, is because I still use the word y'all. Oh, that's funny. So we're not friends then, I guess. Well, no, we are friends, but. Okay, so far this isn't turning out as horrible as a practice as I thought it would. I can see out of my peripheral vision when you guys type in the chat, but it's just going to take some discipline for me to focus on my writing flow and continue that, and then look at the chat when I have a break, and then go back to my writing flow. Yeah, I'm 100% sure there's another way. And I would love to embrace something that's not Bluehost and WordPress. I kind of actually do like WordPress for what I'm doing. I've beaten WordPress with a hammer such that um, it works now. And really the thing I'm more concerned with is that the commerce backend works. And now I've got it set in a way where when people buy things, I know what they buy and I know who's bought and how much money they've paid. That works well with my email list. I don't hate the WordPress writing setup I used to. I would like to be able to write posts in something other than WordPress and even be able to write on my phone and make it work really well. But I've found that every time I try and do that, it just doesn't quite do exactly what the WordPress editor will do in terms of, it's not that the WordPress editor is good, it's that it doesn't break. It's like built to work with WordPress, right? So I just tend to work in the editor. Sometimes I'll type out posts on my phone and then save them and then go into the editor and tweak them. But yeah, I don't hate what I've got going on. I can see a problem if I were to get a bigger audience. Yeah, right. Yes, if it works, don't break it. And really, like, most people, I find that most people try to, like, this is the thing, you know, audio people, the very first question is like, what gear do you use and whatever, and the real question is for them, like, they're trying to ask what gear you use because they think if they use the same professional gear that you do, that it will help them be more professional more quick. And really, it almost doesn't ever matter what gear you use. It's what you do with your gear. The new way you can get what you want, plus cool bonus, there is free cheap hosting, and you can make it all static and fast. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, like, shoot... Yeah, that's the other thing is I did set up in front loading for WordPress, and now it's like where I'm okay with it. So that's the thing. If I were to move away from all this, the only thing I want that I don't have, and I don't need it right now, but like, if I were to post large files or want to stream content in a way that's not on YouTube, like if I were to put a video course up, right now my plan would be to, if I did a video course, it would all be YouTube content unlisted, and you'd pay to go into a backend on my website, which will happen in the future. But if I wanted to have that media on my own site, and plus backups is the other thing, is I don't have a really great backup system. So if this whole thing goes down, I'm screwed. So yeah, those two things are the only things that I'm really concerned with. But right now, neither of them is, I've got workarounds, and the workarounds are fine. And part of why I want to do this YouTube thing and stream more is get used to the interface. And so therefore, if I ever do the video course stuff, then I can know what I'm doing already. Yeah, yep. Yeah, gear doesn't matter as much as you think. Yeah, and that's the thing though, is it's what's really fun and what's really interesting is that how many people ignore that and how many people actually don't believe that. I mean, you think it's silly, but like, I know professional audio people who still argue over microphones. And I'm not a gear nerd at all. I hardly know what gear is good to do field recording, for example. And I just don't care. Like if I needed to go get a new field recorder or a microphone or something, I would probably ask a friend, one or two friends who knows what they're talking about. But I would be specific in that, like, I need something professional, but I don't want something that's like the top end. I would always go with something that's a workhorse, but that's just the way that I work, and I know how I work. So it's like this. I have Bluehost and WordPress, right? Like, crappy web host that everybody knows is a crappy web host, and I'm using WordPress to even write in, and serious writers might shame me. Like, whatever, I don't care. Okay, I'm gonna move back to writing. Let's see. I want to understand at least on some level. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna teach you guys something today. If you're um, watching me type, I'll try to explain it as I go along too. What I'm typing right now, the next paragraph is all going to be explaining what the hell the buffer is in Pro Tools. If you've worked in Pro Tools, which Fred's doing right now, then you know where you have to set the buffer size, and you can make it bigger or smaller depending on if you're like doing a lot, having a lot of plugins in DSP, or if you're trying to mix live, or whatever. So I'm going to explain what the hell the buffer is, because the buffer is the backbone of an audio engine, whether it be Pro Tools or any other DAW or a game audio engine or iTunes or Winamp. They all run on a buffer. I've got one of these wrist rests, and it's not really helping. I need to take it away. Ah, that's better. Hands are sliding. Running out of hard drive space. Memory, hard drive space. All right, so now we have talked about, we've led in with an intro about that the important part of an audio system is the buffer. And I think I've got a good metaphor, I think is what I'm trying to use, with Pro Tools. Now I'm going to explain what the heck the buffer is and actually what audio in your computer is. You mean like what you mean what am I saying with what what's audio in the computer? Like what do I mean by that? Oh, you're making a joke. I'm rereading this. It's in the computer? Got it. Yes, it's inside the computer. First it comes out my mouth, then it hits this microphone, then it goes in my computer. It's bouncing around. It's oscillating. me see if I can steal some Google images. Sure, this isn't legal, but I'm gonna do it anyway. See if I can attribute. What's with the face, Fred? Oh, Zoolander reference. Yes. Zoolander's a great movie. My wife even saw Zoolander 2 with me, which was not a great movie. Oh, I don't like that anyway. That's shitty. Give me my mouse back. How did we get to Bing? So I typed Google. Oh, it's because I typed Google Images into my search box and it searched Google Images in Bing. That's what happened. See if sine wave will work out better. I really don't want to do Photoshop in this right now. Wow, we've already gone an hour. I'm gonna go like longer than this because I'm gonna do this until I'm done writing. 205 to 0 or 255. Ooh, that's perfect. This is what I want. And it looks like it's on Wikimedia, so maybe I can use it without getting in super big trouble. My internet's going super slow because I'm streaming. I think I need to upgrade my Wi-Fi. See if I can. Oh yeah, look at that. Stolen internet image. Doesn't let me resize it. That's dumb. Why is this black? What in the world? Delete that. Okay, whatever. Waveform. Where is this from? This is probably not the right way to do this, but I don't know exactly the correct way to attribute images because I generally don't do this. I'm not going to look it up this very second. .org, right? Yeah. Ah, shit. Okay. Where's my text? Nope. Delete that. What? Nope. Okay, so that is what an audio buffer is. If you have not been watching and you've been playing with Pro Tools or anything else, let me just explain that the audio buffer in your system is, if you've ever worked with a little bit of programming, all it is a selection of audio samples that are in an array. So buffer is an array of audio samples. So if you've never worked with programming before, an array is a grouping of generally a specific size of like type objects in programming. So let's say you've got a collection of numbers. They can be numbers of a specific type, like whole numbers or numbers with a decimal, something like that. And if you create an array, in some languages, the array has to be... Yes, you are guilty, Fred. That's okay. Go back to work. If in some languages you have to set the size of the array when you create an array. So you say, I need an array, I need essentially a group of numbers, and I want the entire group of numbers. I need 5 numbers, and I always want 5 numbers. In some languages, you just say, I need an array of numbers, and then it can dynamically be sized at any given time. Okay, so simply be working with it. Time. So then now I'm going to explain how the buffer actually works. Whoa, no, not a new tab. Reading. Same time. Let's see if I can find an image of a double buffer. So what I'm explaining here is a couple of basic different types of buffers. I know just enough about this to be dangerous. It's like when you first learn about a computer system and you can break things. The way the buffer works in Pro Tools or anything else is you've got, again, an array of like objects, and you write to the buffer and you read from the buffer. So the buffer is this active chunk of memory that is essentially a bucket that your sound card can read from. And all that DSP is, and you doing signal processing with VSTs and anything like that. By the way, how much C# implementation is going to cost yet? I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm actually going to figure out more tomorrow because I'm working privately with someone to do some tutoring, and I'm going to figure out exactly how. It depends on how much I'm going to cover. I assume it's probably going to be more than 50 and less than 80 or more than 50 and less than 100 USD. Could be way lower than that, could be a little bit more than that. I don't know. But that's kind of what I'm thinking my sweet spot is, because I want to cover, again, enough C# for you to work in C#, and also like some cool fun stuff with Wise and Unity. But yeah, it depends. And Fred, if you have like some specific stuff that you want me to cover in that, or that you're interested about in that, let me know. And it's definitely going to be video. It might even be live. So that's the other thing. Like I'm not sure if it's going to be VOD or if I'm going to do like extra streams that aren't public. And like, because if I do extra streams that aren't public and then let people jump on and ask questions, that's a whole different ball of wax. Anyway, so back to buffering. All that DSP is, and like using a VST in Pro Tools, or not a VST in Pro Tools, because you don't use a VST in Pro Tools. What is it now? AAX? Is that? I feel like that's Mac, but it might be AAX plugins. I haven't used Pro Tools since like 10. Back when like RTAS was still a thing. And then when RTAS got removed, I was like, what? What do they even do now? But anyway, if you use a plugin in Pro Tools, or a VST in Reaper, let's say, because I know what the hell that is, then, wow, I wonder if you guys could hear that motorcycle that just hauled ass by my apartment. Anyway, so if you use one of those, what's really going on is that there's multiple buffers in your system, most likely, and you're essentially, before you get to the final output buffer, what you're doing is you're manipulating the numbers in your system, and from another buffer, you're manipulating those numbers and then rewriting to a new buffer. So when you're doing computational math, writing to the buffer, and then the sound card is reading from the buffer at the same time. So that's essentially a super layman's explanation of how it's working. It might not be multiple buffers. It could just be that you have a point in the array that you're writing to, and then at element 3, you're affecting what the actual number is at element 3. Then you go to element 4 and you affect that number, and 5 and affect that number, and so on and so forth. And then the reading part of your sound card comes after that and reads all the data that you write. So I'm trying to explain it in really simple terms while I'm writing. In C++, there's a thing called pointers. And pointers are a kind of difficult explanation to somebody who hasn't programmed, well, to somebody who has programmed a little bit. Hi, Pierre-Antoine. Thank you for being here. Yeah, pointers are a little bit of a weird explanation if you haven't worked in C++ a lot before. I've worked in C++ enough that I vaguely understand how pointers work, and I get the basic definition of it. Essentially, just understand that a pointer is a reference to a position in memory. And if you actually think about it more in layman's terms and not about the specifics of it, it's a little bit easier to understand with audio. You have a read pointer, and you have a write pointer and a read pointer. And if you're writing to a buffer, then you're writing first, and you have the pointer that's going to point by like sample by sample by sample by sample that's writing to the buffer, and then the read pointer comes along and then reads after that. And so the problem that you hit when you like make the buffer too small in Pro Tools, for example, is that if you've got too much DSP going on and it takes too long to write and process, then the read pointer can catch up. And when the read pointer catches up and passes the write pointer in the system, then your system hitches and totally blows up, right? That's the idea. Because you're reading old data. So what Pro Tools, I think, without like getting into the source code of Pro Tools and asking super smarter developers than me exactly how it's working, I imagine that Pro Tools has a thing where if the read pointer passes the write pointer, then Pro Tools automatically just stops. And that's what happens when it like hitches and you're like, oh, right? If you make your buffer too small. So now I'm going to explain what the heck a double buffer is and a ring buffer. I'm also going to try to steal images from the internet and give them references. Oh, buffer. We've got 3 people here today. Look, we've got a 100% growth over yesterday. Y'all are awesome, and you're sticking in here with me. This stream is not going to be highly entertaining all the time. Okay, let's see if we can find a good uncomplicated image of a double buffer that also isn't stupid. Okay. I've got one in a PDF, but I don't really want to steal that. Double auto buffer. Let's see if I can do audio buffer. Even though it's the same thing. As I wrote in the blog just a second ago, buffering happens with any real-time system. So if your YouTube account or your Netflix account or anything like that starts buffering, you're working with a live streaming buffer, right? So it's not just audio, it's not just Pro Tools, it's literally everything that you work with buffers. Man, I need to get some new internet because this is like hella slow. And it's probably hitching for you guys too. Maybe one day it'll load. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. It looked like it tried to and then it stopped. Ah. Man, I'm not used to my system being slow. Double buffer spring AR. Double buffer speed motor. See if Google Images will fare any better. Don't often use Google anymore. It's going faster, that's for sure. Okay, let's see if there's a good picture explanation. These are all dated. I don't like any of these. What is that? This is a video explanation of a double buffer. But that's not exactly what I want. See if I can write it differently. Read, write, buffer. Okay, there's a ring buffer, which is what I'm going to talk about. This is a Japanese explanation of a buffer. Ooh. Well, no, that's almost it. Essentially, if you have a double buffer, you're writing to one buffer while you're reading from another. You have two smaller buffers. A ring buffer looks like this, where it's a single buffer, and then when you get to the end, you go back to the beginning. So it works like a ring. I might not get a picture of this that I like. I have a PDF of what I like, but I don't really want to steal the picture from there. I don't know. I don't think I have that on my system is the other thing. Yeah, this is actually a really good picture of a single buffer. So you've got a read pointer and a write pointer, and the write pointer is ahead of the read pointer. So this would be reading down. Here's another really good picture of it. Maybe I can just use a picture of a write incoming audio sample from sample value of advanced buffer by run. Read value from array value. Buffer now looks like this. Ooh, creating sound. Let's see what this page is. Ooh. Maybe I shouldn't write this, and I'll just just link to this page. Okay, I'm not gonna try to steal an image. I'm just gonna have an image for ring buffer. Okay, so okay, I'm going to take this picture. Trying to think about this from somebody who's never actually even seen a buffer before. Ooh, that's perfect. Even though that's a circular buffer, that's a ring buffer. It's still better than anything found. I wonder. Wikipedia has a good picture of this. This is why I don't often put pictures in my blogs, because I have to go search for them and it takes way too long. I just like to write. Wait for Bing to load. No, I don't need to take my Java skills to the next level, but I appreciate the offer. Writer principle, yeah. I'm not going to explain why to use different buffers because it's a little beyond the scope. Okay, what is double buffering? Maybe you'll have a good picture. Nope. Okay. I give up. Let's not say that. Let's say. So clearly live streaming while I'm writing slows down my writing process too, because I start talking. Normally I can get this done in half an hour to 45 minutes, and I've already been on the air an hour and a half. Kinds of buffers, you have one buffer to write to and a second buffer to read from. This bumps and now I've got a picture of a ring buffer saved in my. I hope this is still interesting to you guys. I understand that at sometimes I am. It's so funny. I haven't added a picture in so long. At sometimes I'm writing, so I'm really quiet and not interacting as much. But I hope that watching me write is informative and that you are learning from when I stop writing and I start barking at you. insert. Okay. Enter that too, and add a caption. I don't even remember where I pulled that from. I'm just gonna leave it without a caption. And maybe I'll get in trouble. We'll see. Hopefully not. Okay, so. Thanks, Fred. I'll probably be streaming again Tuesday around the same time for me. Maybe earlier. I don't know. Have a good night and sleep well. Thanks for being here, too. SP plugins and okay, so we've explained how a buffer works, what a buffer is. I've talked a little bit about what the effect is when you size the buffer in Pro Tools, for example. I don't think you can do it in Reaper. Maybe you can, and I just never tried to. And now I'm going to talk about why this matters with DSP effects and plugins. Okay, so that's the blog, but I'm going to add, because I want to do, if you guys have seen any of my posts in the past couple of weeks, a lot of them have included a sign-up forum for a new course that I'm talking about doing. Ooh, I have a draft that I didn't do anything with. That might have been the early draft of this. Yeah, you might have seen that I'm working towards building a new course to teach C# and audio implementation with Wise and Unity. And so all of the technical posts that I'm putting out, I think there's going to be one more this week, are essentially drivers for promoting that course. To get people interested in it, to see if people actually want to participate and have that course. So I'm including that at the very bottom here. But yeah, that's the whole blog. That's me writing a blog. That took forever because this is only a 1,500 word blog, 1,400 word blog. It's not too incredibly long. Let me see. I don't want to publish it immediately. I want to publish it tomorrow. Most of my blogs go up around 8:30, and then I publicize them half an hour later. Okay. Oh, and I still need to write the email to go with this, so I'll probably do that while I'm on the stream, because why the hell not? 2-hour stream, y'all, where you just sat and watched me type a lot. Okay, default template, no featured image, don't care, schedule. Okay, so please hold while I log into my email software. Probably don't even need that, but I'm gonna put up the sensitive content thing anyway. I think everything autofills and whatnot, but I don't want you to know my usernames or whatever. And I don't want you to see how many people I've got on my mailing list and how much money I've made or any crap like that. That's just weird. I mean, I guess you can ask those questions, and I probably will answer some of them, but... Thanks, Guano Party. Okay, so I can bring back my main scene. Okay, so this one is going to be... So what I tend to do is I have an email already written, and then I just replicate it. And then this is called, let's just say... Layman's. Okay, and this is going to be going tomorrow at 7:23. Got that right? Yep. So copy. So this actually, oh look, you can see all my subscribers. I use templates a lot because it just makes everything easier to write. Makes everything easier to do. I don't actually like to spend a ton of time writing or doing whatever. Half the time I'll even start with a template for writing a blog. The book, Quit Aspiring, once I really got into writing a lot, I would do a main topic heading for what a chapter would be, and then have like 3 or 4 subheadings. And then I could actually write in chunks. So I could go write the details of one heading, like one subheading, and then the details of the next one in a completely different sitting. So I didn't have to sit and churn through a post all at once, or a chapter all at once. And I really believe in that way of working a lot. If you can chunk what you're doing into sections, then do it. if you're on my email list and you get this, then like literally whatever I type up in here is like this. I don't know. I don't even know why I started this, but I think MailChimp had a thing where it had like a title and then I just changed it. And then I put it as, I don't even think about it. I just put a word or phrase that's kind of related to what I'm talking about. Okay, so then and this, if you are signed up to my email list, this is how I have your name display. Hi, first name, the short code. So yes, I am writing directly to you, but yes, I also do take advantage of the system being able to say your name. So then it's not like, hey person, hi friend. Okay. There's the web address. Insert. And I'm going to, now that I've got this a little bit down, I'm going to advertise the stream too. So that's what the email looks like. Okay, let's get a link to my channel. Got it on the other browser. Okay. My channel. I don't even know how to get to my channel. I'm so new at this YouTube thing. But okay, so my channel has a weird link to it. It looks like because I don't have like 100. You think you have to have 100 subscribers before you get a custom channel URL. So let me see if it actually works. Oh, not view as. Oh, I'm logged in. Shit. Okay. Edge. I'm doing a bunch of stuff that you can't see. Sorry. I'm on Edge browser and whatever else. It's not madly interesting for anybody to look at me trying to figure out the proper URL of my YouTube channel. Okay, so that does work. Copy. That close from. Make this a link. See. Out my channel into a link. Address. I love that you can see like my mouse randomly moving around different parts of the screen, but you can't see exactly what's going on. That's because I have the chat pulled up, and I don't know that it would be really hella interesting for you to see the chat pulled up on while I'm like writing to it. So here's what's neat. Here's something that's neat. I color all these links. I go do that in code. Let's color. Always doing that in code. Okay, so that's what the email will look like tomorrow, and some of you are probably going to get it. Maybe all of you are going to get it. And then I've got, this is where the template's really nice, is I've got these small ads for like books and products and stuff. And those are just always there. I never have to worry about making them. Okay, save and close. And then I need to schedule the email, and we're going to schedule that for tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time, because that's when all my emails go out. Some of y'all are in work, and at that point, some of you guys want a break. Nope, I want it to be tomorrow. That was almost bad. Okay, schedule campaign. And that's it. Yay! And the link's funny, but that doesn't matter because nobody uses that link anyway. Cool! Another post is done. That was fun. That I'm still trying to feel out the awkwardness of like it being quiet and stuff. Because I'm not obviously teaching every second I'm writing, and I think watching somebody write isn't necessarily like the most entertaining thing ever. I think it'll be more fun to watch me code, which I'm going to do that more. I just haven't. I'm not on a project that I can just make the code for really quick and explain it as I go. I have a lot of research to do for the new stuff that I'm working on. So anyway, that's me making a post, making some content. Again, I'm going to put, if you haven't seen yet, go to adamtcroft.com/calendar. There's a calendar of events that's there now. Publishing and streaming calendar. You see post a layman's explanation of an audio engine, and the stream is, there was an event for the stream up here, but it was from 1 to 1:30, and now it's almost 3 o'clock my time. I've gone 2 hours, which is crazy. So tomorrow's post is listed, then Wednesday's post, then the following Monday's post. I'm going to put a stream in here for Wednesday's post, but I'm going to write it on Tuesday. So if you're interested, I'll be streaming probably around the same time, maybe a little bit earlier. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. Have a good day, or evening, or whatever, wherever it is your time. And I will catch up with you the next time. Now I have to figure out how to actually stop my stream. This is the hilarious part. This is the doing it live. Let's see. There's nothing interesting from here on out, unless you just want to watch me like fumble through stopping a stream. Okay, friends. Thanks, and I'll catch you later.